All right, what's up, my brothers? I have a very interesting post from you from a guy that was forced to wait 4 years for intimacy and found out that his ex-girlfriend gave it away in less than a week to somebody else. So this is a viral post that had tens of thousands of replies to it. It's blown up. It's essentially a guy figuring out who the beta male is and who the alpha male is in the equation. I'm going to read his post here and then provide some feedback. The title says, "She made me wait almost 4 years for intimacy, but slept with him in a week. Am I wrong to be angry about this?" He says, "I'm kind of having a mental breakdown at the moment, so my words may not make sense. I was in a relationship with my now ex-girlfriend for 5 years. We didn't have sex until we were 4 years in because she wanted to wait until it felt right. I respected it wholeheartedly. Of course, I wanted to, but I loved her more than I wanted to have sex. So I waited until she blatantly told me that she was ready and dragged me into the bedroom herself. Just in January, she told me that she wanted to take a step back from our relationship, a break, and said she wasn't ready in the right mind or space to be with me. I was hurt, but she assured me that she loved me and would be with me again when she got her mind right. We remained friends and talked daily. I was excited for the day we could get back together. At the beginning of this month, she started ranting to me about this gross guy in her friend circle who wouldn't stop hitting on her, looking at her body. Called him an F-boy, etc. I was annoyed and told her to stay away from a weirdo like that, and she told me she would. Called him a creep. And then a couple of days later, she calls me to tell me they just had intimacy. She was saying she didn't know how it happened. It happened so fast. She couldn't believe she did it, etc., etc. He says, I was shattered, but wanted to at least make sure it was consensual, and she said it was, but she wasn't thinking straight. I was shaking all over, nauseous, the whole 9 yards. She actually called me while I was heading to take a major test. Somehow I managed to take it, but as soon as I was done, I ran outside the classroom and threw up. Wow. She just sent me multiple texts apologizing, saying it meant nothing and that she's just in a bad space. I told her I couldn't speak to her at the moment. What she did hurts, but how she did it hurts the most. How could she have done this with a guy she barely knew, such a creepy one at that? How could she have done it so easily and took her sweet time with me? I feel disgusted and angry. There's so much rage. A part of me feels guilty about how I feel since I know she didn't owe me anything and she owns her own body. I'm not usually anywhere close to a misogynist. That's a funny word for a guy like this. But why is this such a slap in the face? I feel like my heart was bitch slapped. Am I wrong? Now, he's got a few edits and updates here. Because so many people ask, I'm 21, she's 20. We got together at 16 and 15 and popped our cherries to each other. First update. Just as I was going to text her to say goodbye, cut her off, she tells me she doesn't think we should speak anymore because of her terrible mental state. Surprise, surprise. She banged him again. She claims she did it yet again because she's on a downward spiral and doesn't want to pull me down with her. She said she wants to spare me from a woman as insane as she is and to live my best life without her. Pretty sure she blocked me. 6 years I've known this girl, 5 years together, all for it to end up like this. I don't know how I'm going to continue with my studies. Final edit, he says. Forgot to add that for some reason felt it was very important to let me know that they use no protection. And he, inside her. Note, we use condoms every single time, so that's an extra layer of gut stab on top of knowing she could very well be diseased or pregnant now, completely burning any possibility of us getting back together. Not like there was anything going to potentially happen there anyway. All right. Well, guys, we're back in the Porsche. I've just collected it to get it ready for a rally that I'm doing in a few weeks. So let's have a conversation about alpha seed and the beta need, as it's so widely known and appreciated out there. In just about every equation, guys, as you navigate in life and around women, you're going to find that there's a component of the guy that she has strong, genuine, burning desire for. I talk about that in a chapter in my book, The Unplugged Alpha. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. And GBD, genuine burning desire, as the acronym stands for, is what you want. A woman that has GBD for you will not make you wait 4 years for intimacy. She will not play games. She will not make you jump through hoops. She will not make rules for you. You see, women will make rules for men that they deem to be beta males, and they'll break them for men that they deem to be alpha males, i.e. our friend's example over here. Wants to wait until she feels comfortable. Fine. They're both young. They're both teenagers. I mean, you can debate that in another video completely, but wanted to wait. He's a nice, respectful guy, waits the 4 years patiently. We call that the beta in waiting. And then she finally gives it up. Shortly after that, sounds like they break up because she wants to find herself, or she's not sure about things, whatever it happens to be. She just needs a break, you know, the break sort of story. Well, anytime a gal says that she needs a break, what usually ends up happening is exactly what happened here to our little friend, the non-misogynist, nice guy that was the beta in waiting. So it is what it is, right? And interestingly, she went and complained and yapped on to her ex-boyfriend about this guy that's hitting on her, called him an F-boy, called him creepy, was making lewd comments about her body and her, you know, her femininity and her sexuality and her attractiveness, but goes and, you know, gives it away to him pretty much right away, only after a week's time. And then feels the need to keep talking to her ex-boyfriend, filling him in on all the details. When they did it, how many times they did it, whether or not they used protection or not. You get the idea. Like, this is a chick who's got something going on there. I mean, that's not desirable type of behavior in general, but at the end of the day, she didn't really like the guy. She didn't really have genuine burning desire for him. A lot of younger girls who aren't squared away in their heads yet, that don't have a good, strong, virtuous father setting strong boundaries for them, will go out and experiment like that. They'll hear about their friends doing things. They'll entertain the idea of doing things because they don't want to be left out of the friend circle or the discussion points around what happens in their personal and private lives. So they go out and they do stuff like this. So this is probably what happened with the first boyfriend that she lost, you know, her V card to. Is like she just needed a guy to, you know, have that moment, like to pop that cherry. And when she found out she didn't really like him, she didn't have that genuine attraction to him, she cut him loose, said she needed a break, needed to square away her head. And how did she square away her head? With some chat, right? An alpha male. And that's just how the world works, guys. I can see why this blew up and got tens of thousands of comments. I can see why this guy's pissed off. I can see why he's confused. I can see why he threw up after taking that test when he discovered her behavior. It's not a good look on, guys. But you know what? I'll be completely honest with you. I think every guy goes through some version of this story right here. Every guy, at some point in their life, you know, plays the nice guy, is a patient guy waiting in the background, you know, for her to see him as the virtuous dude, the boyfriend that she should be with. And when guys wait and they put in the time and they invest in it, you know, they put all these ego investments into it, and then they find out that she just gives it up to somebody else in a week while he waits 4 years. Of course you're going to get pissed off. Why wouldn't you get pissed off? Like, anger is a legitimate and natural response in the face of an injustice. And this is what this guy sees as an obvious and strong injustice. It is what it is. Anyway, I don't need to bang on about this one too much. I thought the story was really interesting. It's something that I've covered in different angles and layers, either on podcasts or even in my book. What's your experience been with like that? I mean, I think, honestly, dudes, from my perspective, I've been that guy. I've been that guy that's been, you know, invested in, done all the right things, was patient, and betrayed. I think all of us have to go through that at some point to understand what drives attraction and desire with women. And without going through it and experiencing it firsthand, it's very, very difficult to acknowledge it. You know, they say truth can't be told, it can only be experienced. And this is just one of those layers. I mean, he's young, he's 21, he'll get over it. I'm sure he'll, you know, pick himself back up and figure it all out. He'll start browsing and reading other stories and watching other videos that'll clarify. Maybe he'll even see this one. What's your experience, guys, been? Comment below. Pin to the top comment, bunch of useful stuff to things like my book, courses, my supplement line, and all that good stuff. See you guys later. Have an awesome day. Peace out.
I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play